Hello, I'm Anthony Hobbs, and this is my review of Battlestar Galactica, the ice planet on. No, not the ice. The gun on ice planet Zero. Okay, so freezing cold temperatures. And we have here, it's a Colonial Viper, very, very small, yes, but they were. Yes, we see Colonial Vipers in this one. In the opening sequence, yes, a whole fleet of patrol spaceships are going, and it seems fun. Then they find an ice planet. I think it's called Arcta, which is a pun on the Arctic, yeah. Freezing cold temperatures, yeah. And then a laser rifle from the surface shoots at them and shoots one of the Colonial Vipers. No, I think it shoots several of them actually. They get a closer look, go to the surface, find it's a massive laser cannon on top of a mountain, yeah. Now, I suppose I just have to say it. Here we have the Battlestar itself, like that. This episode, yes, the Battlestar Galactica has had lots of victories. It's beaten Cylons on that planet, and they look at this big map. We've beaten them there, there, and there. And Commander Adama is a bit suspicious. It's too easy. Why have we beaten all of those Cylon armies so easily? It's as if we're being manoeuvred to this specific point, yeah. And his suspicions are absolutely correct. Yes, they're being manoeuvred there because there's a pulsar cannon that shoots from the surface of the planet, yeah, and they're being manoeuvred there. They can't go back because there's Cylon fleets attacking them. They have to go on, and that thing will shoot them, yeah. Why doesn't the Galactica just go around the planet, or over it, or under it, yeah, like that, at an angle where the laser cannon can't get them? Well, apparently that won't work. It'll get you no matter what angle you do. And I suppose I have to bring this up. The story, it's a two-parter. It mainly concerns a snow planet. Yes, lots of action happening on a snow planet. Now, this episode was broadcast 2 years before The Empire Strikes Back. So a big battle in the snow. No, Galactica did that first. Oh, and also, the pulsar cannon. So it's a cannon on the surface of the planet. It fires a massive laser beam that can destroy spaceships, in space, including the ones, really big ones like the Galactica. Wait a minute, that's like the ion cannon in Empire Strikes Back that shoots from the surface and hits some spaceships surfacing the planet. Yes, Battlestar Galactica did that idea first, yeah. Yeah, and so in other words, all those times George Lucas criticises Battlestar Galactica for being unoriginal, well, no, Empire Strikes Back was not 100% original, no. And, okay, so one of the Colonial Vipers, they don't see it destroyed. They just see it crash land into the snow, yeah. And there's a pilot, he's a cadet, so quite a young man called Cree. And they don't know if he's dead or not, no. In fact, Starbuck, back on board the Galactica, he's quite angry when one of them collects all his belongings and says, no, you can only collect all their belongings and put them in a box when they're dead. And he's not officially dead yet. And the other one called Giles, he apologises. Oh yes, and Giles is played by the same guy that plays Rick in Magnum PI. So yes, there's connections between this show and other shows, yeah. Anyway, Starbuck feels guilty because he was responsible for that pilot, and he wants to join the mission to go and help them because they can't go back, but they can't go on or they'll be destroyed. Oh yes, the ice planet. They just use the same footage as the planet Carolon. The planet Carolon isn't bright white. If this is a snow planet, shouldn't it all be white? But no, they just cheaped out a bit and used the same footage as the planet Carolon, which isn't white. It's supposed to be a snow planet. Anyway, Starbuck tampers with the computer and basically makes out he's one of the people that should be selected to do this mission. But of course, it's because he wants to save Kree, wants to help him, yeah. And then afterwards, he says to Commander Adama, is there some mistake, sir? Are you sure these other people are the right ones selected for this mission? And Boomer says, what's the problem? And he says, well, most of these people are criminals, And he's right, yeah, they're going to enlist the help of criminals. One of them is a demolitions expert. The other one is a medical expert. One of them knows all about the Arctic and how to adapt to the cold. One of them has those gadgets they put on your face that you can breathe properly, yeah. Yes, they all have very useful skills for this expedition. But they're criminals. Can you trust them? Yeah. We're entrusting the safety of the whole fleet to a bunch of criminals. Yeah, convicts, yeah. And but they can't go back. If they go on, the only hope to go on is to destroy the weapon, send an expedition down to the planet, which they do. Boomer, however, gets slightly suspicious. He says, I can understand why I was picked for this mission. I have experience on a snow planet. But Starbuck has no experience whatever on a snow planet yet. And Apollo leads the mission in those tiny shuttlecrafts. They do have a Colonial Vipers like escort in case they get shot at by the pulsar cannon, yeah. And their escort is shot down, dead, so that's a shame. And then a Cylon Raider shoots the shuttle. Why don't the shuttles have any laser guns? No armament, whatever, yeah. Anyway, it crashes down, so now they're in a big trouble. So they have to get on board the land ram, which is, or they call it the snow ram, although it's a land ram. Yeah, a ground vehicle with tank treads and a laser cannon. So when the Cylon Raider comes from another pass, they shoot it down. Think, right, let's get out of here. We were supposed to fly there, but we'll have to use the snow ram instead. So they do. They all get on board. And, just one thing. The pulsar cannon shoots Colonial Vipers at the beginning of the episode, then shoots another one, then shoots another one. Why? Why does it shoot Colonial Vipers down? Because it did that, they became alerted to the presence of that weapon. If the Cylons hadn't shot any Colonial Vipers, the Galactica would have gone on this way, unaware that pulsar cannon even exists, and would have been shot down. Yeah, so, or maybe Cylons don't think that far ahead. They just think, see anything that's an enemy, shoot it. Yeah, without thinking, yeah. And we have a lot of dialogue with the Cylons. They talk a lot in this one. Well, for a start, they talk amongst themselves. The shuttle has crashed, but to make sure there's no survivors, they send a Cylon patrol. And the Cylons, of course, they can't die of cold. Yes, the humans they like to think they're superior to machines, but, well, Cylons can't die of cold. You know, that's their advantage. And once on board the snow ram, yes, well, just before they get a move on, it turns out Boxy and Muffet, the Daggett, has they've stowed away their stowaways, even though Apollo specifically told them not to go on board this mission. It's too dangerous. But, they can't send them back now because their spaceship has crashed, so they'll have to go on with them. How are they supposed to get back to the Galactica with no spaceship? Well, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen this two-part episode, yeah. They go along, and then two of the criminals have to, because there's not enough room for them inside the vehicle, have to sit outside the vehicle. They object because it's so cold, you know. And then they start fighting amongst themselves, and one of them shoots a laser gun, and it shoots the main battery, so the vehicle can't move at all. Yes, sometimes manhandling criminals, it's like dealing with spoilt children that won't do as they're told. They won't be practical, yeah. They're busy having a ruckus, having an argument. We're going to die of cold if the vehicle's ever damaged. But no, they haven't thought that far ahead. So everyone has to get inside the vehicle. Muffet goes out, and Boxy objects, but Apollo says no, he can't die of cold. He's a robot, he'll be okay. And Boxy says he'll bring back help. Either that or he'll bring back a Cylon patrol. We don't know, but we can't go out to stop him because if we go outside, we'll die of cold. So they ask the Arctic expert, what can we do now? And the expert says, there's nothing we can do. We'll have to stay in here. A big cold snowstorm is happening, yes. If we go outside in that, we will definitely die of cold, but we have a chance for survival in here. We will huddle together and use our bodies to keep each other warm, yeah. So, now it's no longer a question of saving the fleet. They've got to save themselves first, yeah. Oh, there's the medical expert. She's a woman. And yeah, something like that, because it's a bit of a sausage fest. All these men over here. We've got one woman helping the team, yeah. She's a criminal as well. Anyway, I suppose I'll just have to say it. When I first saw this episode, I was 7. Then I saw it again when I was 17. And when I saw it, there was a malfunction with my central heating. And it was getting really cold. Oh, how apt. They're fighting for their lives, trying not to die of cold. Then they get rescued by a group of strangers that take them into an underground bunker. And at the same time, my heating started to work again. We got warm again. Oh, how apt, yeah. Anyway, Britt Ekland is in this because, yes, every now and again they have special guest stars, and she was very famous in the 70s. And she plays her part well, or should I say part. She plays clones. There's lots of copies of her, yeah. And there's copies of a man with a big beard as well, yeah. So they're a bit confused to see clones. Why are they working with the Cylons? What's going on? Can we trust them? And they thought, well, they saved us from dying of cold. So that counts for something. That's good, yeah. While this is going on, we see a Cylon base star with Boltar. And we weren't sure if he was a goodie or a baddie, but at this point, he's definitely a baddie. He wants the Battlestar Galactica utterly destroyed. It's only a matter of time, yeah. And he's going to send Cylon raiders to attack the fleet, yeah. So, the other subplot. Kree, his Viper, has crashed, and I think he intended to stay in his Viper, well, to not die of cold, yeah. But then Cylons are coming, so he has to get out and get away then, yeah. The Cylons kidnap him and question him, where is the Galactica, what's the exact position. Of course, he won't betray his people, even though they torture him, yeah. So, yes, it's pretty dire circumstances. The crew of the Galactica have been in dangerous missions before, but never anything like this, never the risk of being utterly destroyed or dying of cold, of some choice, yeah. So, yeah, I suppose it's a bit different this episode, yes. We haven't seen a snow planet before, and the determination to survive, yes, to stop dying of cold, yeah. Why do they trust criminals? Well, because the writers of this show like the movie Dirty Dozen, yeah. And secondly, you wouldn't employ criminals if you could help it, but the Galactica crew, they are desperate, so desperate, they enlist the help of criminals, so a necessary evil, if you will, yeah. And it ends on a cliffhanger. What do they do now? They haven't saved the Galactica yet. So, yes, it's a good, gripping story. Oh, yes, and that bit when they're in a chasm, and they have to keep absolutely silent, otherwise the Cylons will hear them. They're patrolling that area like that, yeah. And so, yes, Muffet, a lot of people can't stand the character Muffet, too cute and cuddly. He actually did something useful. He brought back help from the clones so the heroes didn't die of cold. So, yeah, if you like, Muffet the dagger, he earned his keep. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.